Welcome to Mastering Fireground Command, Calm the Chaos, Video 3. Hopefully by now you've already watched Video 1 to get a solid foundation. In this program we will focus on commercial buildings. Commercial buildings are deadly. It's partially our own fault for two reasons. First, we treat them like house fires. We sometimes deploy hose lines that are way too small, like taking a knife to a gunfight. We also fail to recognize that the main life risk in the commercial building is us. Many times commercial buildings are evacuated more easily than homes since people don't usually sleep there. They don't have pictures, pills, and pets to save, and the fires are found during business hours when everyone is alerted. If the fires come in at night, the buildings are likely to be vacant after business hours. The second reason we allow these fires to be more deadly than necessary is that we fail to use ICS on a daily basis on small incidents, so we're not good at it on the big ones. We fail to proactively set up an aggressive incident command system that attacks the NIOSH 5. Remember the NIOSH 5 from Video 1? That's the top 5 operational line-of-duty death causes from the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. In review, the NIOSH 5 operational killers are improper risk assessment or poor size-up, lack of command, lack of an accountability system, inadequate communications, lack of SOPs, or failure to follow the SOPs. We must set up groups and divisions as soon as possible to get good size up, good risk assessment, and excellent accountability. There is no substitute for pre-planning. Knowing your first due area, the types of buildings, and fire loads will pay huge dividends again on that dark and stormy night when you pull up with heavy fire in a commercial building. Commercial buildings require a proactive incident commander who can organize the incident quickly and expect the unexpected. Don't risk the lives of your firefighters for a vacant building.
Battalion 5, Engine 101.
Let's look at a commercial tactical template. Again, these should be built based on your staffing, response levels, and SOGs. Here we have a commercial structure with a fire in the BC area of the building, for example. Engine 1 arrives, passing command to the battalion chief who is also arriving. Engine 1 initiates fire attack with a 2.5-inch hose line. Engine 2 arrives and sets up a water supply pumping back to Engine 1 from the hydrant. Engine 1 and Engine 2 will get that first line deployed. Engine 2 can assume Division A with Engine 1 and all subsequent companies working for him. This would include Truck 2, who would perform a search and additional engines for 2 out and other crews on the attack lines. In short, anyone going in the A side of the building would be working for Division A, who is currently Engine 2. If a second chief officer arrives, he could be assigned to take over Division A from Engine 2's captain. We don't want to always wait for chief officers to set up groups or divisions. They may be delayed and things could get worse before they arrive. Maydays have been called before chiefs arrive. Chiefs are not magic. Good company officers must be trained to run divisions or groups early. Truck 1 will go to the roof and set up roof division with the objectives of a roof report and vertical ventilation. He will let command know if he needs another truck to the roof, which is highly likely on this building. Division C could be set up to open the rear of the structure and potentially search from that area. Caution and coordination between the divisions is critical to prevent redundant or conflicting tactics like opposing streams. Other tactical objectives would include RIC, medical, and pumping the FDC. Remember, the greatest life hazard on most commercial buildings is what we bring to the fire. Heavier caliber hose lines, more RIC companies, and aggressive softening that doesn't negatively impact fire conditions are all paramount.
Battalion 5, Engine 101.
Now, let's look at a tactical template for a strip mall. If you believe a room and contents fire is present in one unit and it is not extending into the attic, then a direct attack may be warranted. Then, checking for extension would be the next priority along with search and evacuation. Fires in these occupancies often get into the attic space and spread laterally. If fire is blowing out the front and back of a center unit in a post-flashover state, one tactic is to flank the fire on either side in the attic to prevent lateral extension. This is a good opportunity to check for firewalls and reinforce those firewalls as needed. Then a large caliber line can be used to extinguish the fire. Remember that confining a fire is a higher priority than extinguishing it. I have seen far too many companies attempt to attack a large fire head-on only to be outflanked by the enemy. Depending on the extent of the fire, a simple Division A and Division C ICS could work for you. If you have significantly larger buildings or a significantly larger mall, then multiple divisions like A, B, C, and D could be established. A roof division is set up to provide vertical ventilation and provide trench or strip cuts to prevent lateral extension and support firewalls. As with any commercial building, connect to the FDC, provide adequate RIC and medical proactively.
Titan 5, engine 101.
This next video clip is from a Motel 6 fire that came in during the middle of the night while occupants were sleeping. The video begins just after the arrival of the first company, Engine 19. Notice the rapid development of the incident structure by Engine 105, who assumes command, and the rapid request for a second alarm.
Copy 19's on scene, two-story Motel 6. Working fire, initiating fire attack. Passing command. Martin, you want to call a second on this?
Dispatch, Engine 32.
Fire dispatch.
Do we know the nature of that Maryland patient?
Negative. Still a landline with terms down.
10-4, both units station quarters.
Medic 19 is on scene. Need assistant Engine 19.
Dispatch Battalion 7, engine 19's on scene, reporting working fire from the Motel 6. Need a second alarm.
Second alarm.
Units responding to Motel 6, Battalion 7 called a second alarm, FYI.
Battalion 7, Engine 19 fire attack. Engine 19 is going to go ahead and start fire attack. We're going up the center stairwell compartment. Looks like we got one room charge right now, heavy fire blowing out of the door. We're going to need evacuations on the left and right side of the exposure. Immediate Bravo and Delta 1 exposures of the apartment.
Copy. 19's initiating fire attack. Bravo and Delta 1 sides will need evacuation.
Engine 105 on scene establishing Ardent command. We'll be pulling and locating a water supply for you 19 and bringing up the second metro tonight. Engine 101 arrived. You have assignment for us, command. We're parking down engine 19. Go ahead and take assist fire attack with the exposures. Engine 101 copy. There's a distinct fire attack with exposures. 106 is on scene. Fire dispatch 10-4 pinning for medic 45 Methodist.
10-4 pinning medic 45 Methodist.
32.
Titan 7's on scene, all established. Ardent command. Pin post to be located on the A side in the parking lot. This will be an offensive strategy. Truck 106. Go to the roof, prepare for vertical ventilation. Engine 106 assists with that evacuation of those units he was discussing.
Upon my arrival and assuming command, Engine 105, the initial incident commander, becomes the Division 2 supervisor, with all companies on the second floor working for him. His objectives are fire attack, confinement, and search of the second floor. He becomes the walking boss on the second floor. While ideal, A face-to-face transfer of command is not always possible. Good communications by all the companies minimizes the need for a transfer in person, especially if the first arriving incident commander is only in command for a few minutes, as is the case here. Truck 106 is assigned Roofed Division with the objective of vertical ventilation. Subsequent tactical objectives included a medical group, Division 1 for salvage and evacuation below the fire, and later RIC once the search was all clear. A RIC group was deferred due to the heavy life hazard in the hotel at night. The second alarm was staged, and resources were requested from the staging officer, the first company officer to the staging area.
Battalion 5, Engine 101.
In video number 1, we discussed a combination strategy. To illustrate a combination strategy, let's look at this fire in a car wash. Note the amount of collapse in the roof. The roof construction was a pitched metal open web bar truss covered with lightweight tile. This lightweight roof began collapse shortly after a strip cut was made. The strip cut was made very early when the roof was still tenable and safe. We had written off the area of origin due to collapse in that area. However, note the streams flowing through the roof from inside the structure to the right. This tactic was employed to reinforce a known firewall in the building. Coupled with a strip cut on the roof, we were able to save 2/3 of the business, including the entire mechanical car wash end to the seaside. The interior crews did not go past the firewall. This was the line between the offensive and defensive areas. Also note the heavy streams, including an elevated stream in the defensive space to the left. This tactic of reinforcing firewalls, breezeways, and other building characteristics is excellent for strip malls, large commercial complexes, and any other buildings that present this opportunity. Don't just write off the whole building without looking for tactical points of opportunity to safely take advantage of. Note the walking boss tactical division supervisor on this fire. He is walking in and out of the Division A side. He is the Division A supervisor, talking to his companies and sizing up the fire and building conditions. Here we see him looking at the fire above and the strip cut. He made the tactical decision to reinforce the firewall and remain safely in the structure. He notified me of his plan and we supported him accordingly. My job was to keep companies out of the defensive space and support his operation. Other objectives included connecting to the FDC or sprinkler connection. This building's sprinklers were shut down for maintenance when this fire broke out.
Battalion 5, Engine 101.
Let's look next at a commercial fire in a small building. The structure is a converted house and approximately 1,500 square feet. As we stated in video number 1, we can utilize an interior division supervisor for smaller buildings.
Battalion 7's on scene. Going to be a one-story commercial building about the size of a residence. We have heavy fire on the A side. First an engine, initiate fire attack. Next an engine, give a water supply.
Add Battalion 14 to B7 call. I'm on scene. 101, go ahead, Battalion, 3-quarter. We're initiating fire attack. Engine 106, best hydrant is going to be to reverse from us to Belport. Bump back, please.
Truck, upon your arrival, you're going to be roof division. Objectives are going to be vertical ventilation and search. Looks like it could be vacant. Confirm for me if you think it's vacant.
As our standard operating guideline dictates, we routinely split our 4-person truck companies into two-person teams on smaller buildings. That's why Truck 106 has vertical ventilation and search as his primary objectives. The Truck 106 captain will become the roof division supervisor. His 2 firefighters will go inside the structure, reporting to the interior division supervisor, and initiate a primary search. As always, we want to declare the strategy and command post location upon arrival.
Hey, Walt. Walt?
Yeah.
I want you to assume interior division. You're going to have all the interior companies working for you. So far it's engine 101 and half of truck 106, okay?
Okay, let me get some gear on.
Note that I repositioned after the truck arrives. Battalion 5 becomes the Interior Division Supervisor, with all interior companies reporting to him. His objectives are fire attack and search. Engine 106 lays out and the crew pulls a 2-out line. Battalion 5 now has Engine 101, Engine 106, and Truck 106, Team 2 working for him.
Company's on the El Camino call. This Battalion 7. I'm assuming command. Command is located across the street on the Alpha side. This will be an offensive strategy for now. We do have heavy fire, possibly a abandoned commercial structure. If we need to go defensive, let me know. Battalion 5 is going to assume Interior Division.
Notice the interior walking boss lapping the structure, talking to his crews, and sizing up the building and fire. Also note the minimal radio traffic as a result. Communications are enhanced through more face-to-face dialogue and less radio traffic. This more effective communication, safety, and size up by the walking boss or division supervisor impacts the NIOSH 5 that we discussed in video number 1. Listen to the excellent CAN report from Interior to Command as he accomplishes his lap.
You have engine 109 conducting a primary entering on the B side. Best access to the fire is still through the A side. You got 2 lines in there. No C or D exposures. And just getting it vetted and opening this thing up.
Then watch and listen now as the Interior Division walking boss communicates with one of his task level working bosses face to face, then transmits the essential information to command.
Command, interior, primary search, all clear.
Copy, primary.
As we mentioned at the beginning of the video series, Fireground Command strategy and tactics must be developed throughout our careers. Be hungry for knowledge. Many other tools are available to you, including online programs like the Blue Card system. Now, go to the simulation exercise section of the DVD and practice the commercial fire exercises. You'll get a chance to command fires on your own. Then we will discuss each one. Thank you for watching Mastering Fireground Command. Calm the chaos. See you on the next one.
Battalion 5,